Chloe lounges in her Cresthaven living room, the camera capturing the soft glow of a TV screen flickering against her historic home's oak walls, a half-eaten bowl of popcorn on the coffee table. She's in a cozy sweater, her hazel eyes alight with mischief, a playful smirk curling her lips. You guys will never believe what happened. I'm Chloe, painting my way through the lakeside town of Cresthaven, chasing moments that spark the soul on canvas. Tonight was supposed to be a chill movie night with Marcus, my childhood friend, now a bookstore owner with graying curls, warm amber eyes, and a laugh that feels like home. We've known each other forever, but when the credits rolled, something shifted. The lights stayed low, the air got thick, and what we've both been ignoring for years. It wasn't staying quiet anymore. Want to know how it unfolded? Keep watching, because this story's all about a night that rewinds into something electric. Like and subscribe for more. The Cresthaven evening was cool, the lake's gentle lapping mingling with the hum of crickets outside Chloe's historic home. The air carried the scent of damp earth and cedar, seeping through the open windows as Chloe sprawled on her plush living room couch, a bowl of popcorn between her and Marcus, the glow of an old rom-com flickering on the TV. Her home, with its creaking oak floors, ivy-draped windows, and walls adorned with her vibrant paintings, was a sanctuary, but tonight, it felt alive with a different kind of energy. Her art was bold, each stroke a reflection of the dangerous desires that simmered beneath her calm exterior, always waiting for a spark to set them ablaze. And tonight, as the movie's credits loomed, those desires were painting a scene she hadn't scripted. Marcus, at 58, was a childhood friend who'd grown into a bookstore owner with a quiet charm that had always felt like a familiar melody. His graying curls framed a face weathered by laughter, his amber eyes held the warmth of decades spent reading stories to kids at his shop, and his hands calloused from shelving books moved with a gentle precision that felt like turning a cherished page. Their history stretched back to scraped knees and treehouse promises, but since Chloe's return to Cresthaven after art school, their coffee chats and shared laughs had carried a new undercurrent, one she'd brushed off as nostalgia. Her dangerous desires, though, had other plans, and tonight, they were ready to rewind the tape and play something new. Living room, 8:30 p.m. The rom-com's laughter filled the room, the TV's glow casting shadows across the coffee table cluttered with popcorn, soda cans, and Chloe's sketchbook. She'd invited Marcus over on a whim, a nod to their old tradition of movie nights when life was simpler. You still pick the cheesiest films, she teased, tossing a popcorn kernel at him, her hazel eyes catching the light as she grinned. Marcus caught the kernel, his laugh warm and low, like a bookshop's quiet hum. And you still can't resist watching, he shot back, his amber eyes twinkling as he leaned back, his arm brushing hers on the couch. The contact was fleeting, but it sent a spark through her, like paint hitting a fresh canvas. Okay, audience, she thought, her inner monologue sharp as a brushstroke. This is where the scene starts to shift. You feel it too, don't you? That moment when the script, takes a turn. Their banter flowed, easy as always, but the air felt heavier. The lakes hummed through the open window, a quiet pulse. Chloe's mind flickered to a memory, not a structured flashback, but a vivid splash of color. Marcus at 15, teaching her to skip stones by the lake, his laugh echoing as she failed spectacularly, his hand steadying hers. He's always been steady, she thought, but now, there's something else in those eyes. Another memory swirled, a rainy afternoon last year, Marcus dropping by with a novel, their fingers brushing as he handed it over, his voice soft. This one's got your fire, Chloe. She'd laughed it off, but the spark had lingered, a hue she couldn't paint over. Kitchen, 9:15 p.m. The movie paused for a popcorn refill, and they migrated to the kitchen, the oak floor creaking underfoot. The room was small, lit by a single pendant light, the scent of butter and cedar mingling with Marcus's cologne sandalwood, rich and grounding, like an old book's pages. Chloe leaned against the counter, pouring kernels into a pan, while Marcus rummaged for more soda, their movements a familiar dance from years of friendship. You're still terrible at this, he said, nodding at the pan as kernels popped unevenly, his grin teasing but warm. Says the guy who burns toast, she fired back, her voice playful but edged with something bolder, her hazel eyes locking on his. The kitchen felt smaller, the air charged, like a canvas waiting for a daring stroke. Audience, here's the thing, she thought, her inner voice painting the moment. Sometimes the quiet scenes, the ones where you're just making popcorn, feel louder than the climax. Another memory bled into the moment, fluid and unbidden. A winter night when they were kids, sneaking cookies from her mom's kitchen. Marcus whispering bad jokes to keep her quiet, his eyes bright with mischief. Then, a more recent Hugh last month, him lingering at her art show, his voice low as he said, "Your paintings make Cresthevin feel alive." Each memory was a brushstroke, layering their history, pulling her toward a truth she'd been dodging. Living room, 10 o'clock p.m. Back on the couch, the movie resumed, but Chloe's focus drifted, the rom-com's plot blurring as she stole glances at Marcus. His laugh, his easy slouch, the way his hand rested near hers, it was all too familiar, yet electric. The lake's hum outside was a soft heartbeat, the TV's glow dimming as the credits loomed. This is it, audience, she thought, her heart picking up speed. The moment where the scene either fades or ignites. The credits rolled, the screen darkening, but neither moved. The lights stayed low, the living room bathed in the soft glow of a single lamp, the air thick with silence and the scent of popcorn and sandalwood. Chloe's breath caught, her dangerous desires painting the moment in bold colors. She turned to Marcus, their shoulders close, the couch creaking softly. "You didn't get up," she said, her voice low, teasing but charged, her hazel eyes searching his amber ones. He held her gaze, his smile slow, hesitant. "Neither did you," he said, his voice a quiet hum, like a bookseller turning a fragile page. "Chloe, this feels different tonight." The silence stretched, heavy with what they'd both been pretending not to feel. "Hey guys," Chloe said, her voice bright but laced with mischief, breaking the moment as if speaking to her imaginary audience, her eyes glinting as she leaned back. "We're about to get into the spicy portion of the story, so please don't forget to like and subscribe." She grinned, the words a playful shield, but her heart pounded as she shifted closer, her knee brushing his, the contact sending a spark through her like paint spilling across a canvas. "Audience, this is where the colors get bold," she thought, her inner voice sharp. "Marcus, what are we doing here? The movie's over, but we're still sitting here. Why does it feel like we're not ready to hit stop?" The silence returned, electric, the lake's hum a soft pulse as the living room shrank to just them, the couch, the lamp's glow, the TV's faint static. Her heartbeat quickened, her dangerous desires wanting a rewind, a chance to replay this moment and make it real. Another memory flickered, not linear, but vivid. Marcus at her first art show after college, his eyes locked on her canvas, his voice soft, "You paint like you're telling a secret." The memory blended with the present, her heart whispering, "Maybe I'm ready to tell it now." Marcus's gaze softened, his voice low, strained but warm, like a story finding its ending. "I've been trying to keep this, like it always was," he said, his eyes flickering to their close hands, then back to hers. "Friends, safe, but you're sitting here, Chloe, and I'm not sure I can pretend anymore." His words carried the weight of years, a confession painted in quiet hues. Her smile widened, her heart soaring, the tension a living thing between them, pulsing like the lamp's glow. "Maybe I don't want you to pretend," she said, her voice teasing but honest, leaning closer, her hand brushing his, the contact electric. "Audience, here's the stroke that changes the canvas," she thought. "Maybe I want to rewind and see what happens if we don't stop." Her hazel eyes locked on his, the lake's hum swelling like a cue. He laughed, a low, warm sound, his hand lingering near hers, the touch sparking a fire in her chest that felt like a painting coming to life. "Your trouble, Chloe," he said, his voice rich with amusement and intensity, his amber eyes twinkling with a warmth she hadn't seen before, like a bookseller uncovering a hidden story. "I've known you forever, but tonight, you're rewriting everything I thought I knew." Porch, 11:30 p.m. stepped onto the porch, needing air, the night cool and alive with the lake's hum and the scent of rain on the horizon. The porch's wooden railing was damp, the fairy lights casting a soft glow across their faces. Chloe leaned against the railing, Marcus beside her, their shoulders close, the silence heavy with possibility. "Audience, this is where the painting gets messy," she thought, her inner voice bold. "The colors bleed, and you don't know if it's art or chaos." Another memory swirled, a summer night years ago, them stargazing on this porch, Marcus pointing out constellations, his voice a steady hum as she laughed at his made-up names. Then, a recent Hugh, him stopping by with a book on art history, his fingers brushing hers, his voice low. Your work stays with me, Chloe. Each memory was a stroke, layering their connection, pulling her toward a truth she couldn't ignore. I don't want to go back to just friends, she said, her voice steady now, her eyes locked on his, her hand grazing his arm, the contact grounding her like a finished canvas. What do you want, Marcus? Now that we're here, after the credits on this porch. He leaned closer, his smile slow, his eyes tracing her face like he was reading a rare book. I want to see where this story goes, he said, his voice soft but weighted, like a bookseller unveiling a hidden tale. You've always been bold, Chloe. Tonight, you're making me want to be bold too. The fairy lights flickered, the lakes hum a quiet witness to their moment. The air was thick with possibility, the night alive with their shared silence, Chloe's dangerous desires burning brighter than ever. You're making it hard to keep this safe, she teased, her voice a mix of playfulness and truth, her courage holding her steady like a brush in her hand. He chuckled, his fingers brushing hers on the railing, the touch warm and electric, like a spark in a quiet bookshop. Safe's overrated, he said, his voice low, rich, carrying the weight of their moment. What do you want, Chloe? Now that we're here, at midnight. Her heart pounded, the memories blending into the present, the spark of his touch as vivid as her paintings. I want this, she said, her eyes locked on his, her hand pressing against his. This moment, you. The lake shimmered, its rhythm, a soft applause in the night, as her dangerous desires rewound the night, leaving only a daring new chapter, one fearless stroke at a time. And that's how a movie night turned into something we couldn't pause. Kresteven's got a way of making moments like this feel like art, doesn't it? If you love this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Chloe's Dangerous Desires. What's next for me and Marcus? Stick around to find out. See you in the next one.